Don't say anything crazy.
Oh, we will.
Okay. 3. All right.
Welcome back to the 101, brought to you by Lincoln Wallace, your small business and entrepreneurial show. And as I've been saying for weeks, this is the original one. So if anyone's copying, thank you for doing that. It takes the pressure off of us. Yeah. That other voice you hear is my good friend from Lincoln Wallace, Madison Gillespie. Madison, how are you?
I'm awesome, as always. I say the same thing every week because you ask the same question.
I know, but today you seem like you're in a bad mood,
Really?
but you were more peppy on the microphone. So this doesn't bode
It's
well for the
all
next
fake.
49 minutes.
No, yeah.
Now, today we have a special guest. Andrew is not here once again.
He's missed a couple weeks in a row now.
He's only missed about 13 straight weeks, but we keep plugging him because if we don't, he sends us a message. What's going on, guys? You didn't even mention me. That's your Andrew mention for
There
the
you go.
week.
He's on a roof.
Now, I can't wait to introduce our guest because I'm going to blow this name 9 different times. He won't let me just call him by one name like Jim said, like Madonna or something like that. So I'm going to try it, and when I blow it, you can correct me, okay? We have Kodjo Somana.
You got it.
Oh, I nailed it. Nailed it.
I usually get Kodjo, but
Yeah, to be fair, for the last 12 weeks, I've been calling him Kodjojo because he was scheduled to come on this show. Then we had to bump him back, and I said, could someone tell Kodjojo he can't be on for one more week? And they seemed to say that was fine and also said that's not his name. But thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
I would like you to give a little bit of your background because we just met probably 20 minutes ago.
Correct.
And so I had no idea. I've seen some of your work, but can you kind of give a background on why you're here today?
Yeah, I'm just here to talk a little bit about my business and what I do. A little bit about my background. I'm from Togo, West Africa.
Who isn't?
Yeah. That's like
A lot
outside
of
of
people,
Powell, right?
a lot of people don't believe me. My friends call me fake African, but because I don't have the accent.
Yeah.
But I've been here for a while. I came here when I was 7, and I'm just coming from Africa. I didn't know what to expect, but as I started progressing in my life and so on, I was in high school, and one day I was just like, man, I wanna draw. I want to become an artist. And I pick up a pencil, started drawing stick figures, and I sucked. I don't look at my old work as much anymore.
So you're not here to solicit for people that want illustration.
Oh no.
Just
I'm just telling my background there. But I started doing that, and it became a passion of mine. I kind of got good at it. I was like, if I can start from a stick figure and get this good at what I'm doing now, I can do more. And that's when the concept of videography, filmmaking came into play, and I've just been doing that ever since. And that's been kind of my path ever since high school.
So one of the things that we were looking at, and Madison saw some of this, was what I'm always intrigued for what we do because we do these shows on Facebook Live, we do these radio shows, and I think people misunderstand what Madison and I actually do because they see this part and they're like, you guys are super dressed up in your t-shirts, like you must work at radio stations. What I was fascinated by is the quality of what you've produced. I thought you were doing commercial work. Like you mentioned Ohio Health, but I don't know if, Madison, you even know this. Do you know who one of his clients / friends / person in one of his music videos is?
No.
The Pinger.
Is she?
Dr. Ping.
She does have some sick dancing.
But he did her video for her website, but she's also in a music video.
Coming up.
Yes, she doesn't play a dentist in that, but she is a waitress in that.
Really?
See? What's that game called? 6 Degrees of Separation?
Yes.
We kind of have that
We're
with
at 2
5
degrees.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought you'd find that interesting. I didn't tell you before the show.
I knew Ping was a dancer, but I didn't know she
Yeah.
acted.
Well, you got to put yourself through dental school somehow.
Yeah, that's it.
But
Yes.
that being said, what I was impressed with was I thought you were just doing like wedding things, and I was told you wanted to be a filmmaker. Like you were going to be the next like indie guy. That's not what you do on a day-to-day basis.
I want to do it all. That's just me. With my mindset, I don't like to limit myself to one thing. So when I started the whole video thing, I wanted to do anything video-related, corporate, music video, documentaries, film. I want to just do it all because that's my passion. That's the field, and I'm just very driven. So like anything video-related I like to do, that's why I do a little bit of everything that I do now.
And you said that you have gone from having a job and doing this on the side to you quit your job. You're a full-time
That's correct.
entrepreneur now.
That's
Yeah,
awesome,
that's
man.
correct. Yeah.
Congrats.
I was actually out of college. My original plan was to just go full time with my business right away, just kind of so I can start growing quicker. But that wasn't the case for me. I had to kind of find a full time job, do that in the field. I had no idea what to do. I was a broker, so a broker was in my field. I had no idea what I was doing. But
A broker of what?
trucking company.
Oh, I could see the direct line to filmmaking.
Yeah.
But there is some positive thing that also came out of that too for him, because being a broker taught me, it just taught me that profession, because I'm always on the phone with different people selling, different, products and stuff. So I was like, you know what, this is great. I'm learning from this. I'm doing this every day. When I get out of here, I'm going to be so good when I pick up the phone and talk to my own client, or when I meet my own client, I'll already have that experience. So it won't be hard at all. So I was like, it's time to, but for me, it was more of like it was in my heart. I don't be a broker forever. So I was doing the video stuff on the side. I was pushing hard. I didn't sleep at all. A lot of my friends, people that know me, they know I don't sleep.
That sounds like Madison right now.
I am that person that will be working on a project for a client. I'll text them like 3 a.m. in the morning and say, hey, the video's done. I sent you the email. And they're like, 3 a.m. And then they reply back, let's say 10 a.m. Hey, I got it. Thinking that I reply back, like, do you sleep? Like, I don't, I love what I do. So I sleep when I can. So, but just kind of doing that for, that long. I was, 2 years later after, I think it's been a year and a half, not 2 years. About a year and a half. That's when I quit my job and decided to go full time now.
How was that first couple weeks?
Of, working or full time?
Of after you left your job.
I'm so glad that you asked that question, because I can see you looking.
Yeah, I'm like, how did you feel? Because I was.
See, this is perfect because
questioning my
Madison and I are so similar in a lot of ways, but there are certain parts where, like, when I left, I was lighting like the dock on fire, so I couldn't go back. He is he's like you. He's got this great what I want to say, overgrown personality where he just loves people. So it was hard for him to get out. You guys seem very similar.
The actual concept, the actual leaving part was hard, but the concept in my mind of when I was going to leave and all that, like, I knew I was ready.
Right.
It was like the disappointment that I was going to be bringing on other people and just having to do, and it wasn't even like the leaving part. It was like the next weeks after that. I remember week 2, I'm like sitting on my couch, like working, like trying to get clients and stuff. And I'm like, just have this moment of, what did I just do?
Right.
I didn't. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good, man.
I didn't regret that. as soon as I left. I didn't also hate where I worked, but when I left, the feeling I can't describe it.
Yeah.
I just felt like free, because I was told myself, I want to work for myself full time. And when I was working for a company, I was like, man, I feel like I'm in financial prison right now, because the only reason I'm here is because I gotta pay the bills. So I'm in financial prison. So when I left, I was like, man, I am free. You know what I mean? It was just that.
I do know what you mean.
It
We all
just,
do.
But that first week, I was just like, man, I can do anything now. I have all this free time now.
He's completely
But-
different. Because he feels so free.
I know.
You and I both were like, this might not have been a good idea.
I felt free, but like the other 80% of like the stress and anxiety of everything that just happened was weighing down my freedom.
Well, here's the question I have, because Madison, this goes directly to your story. Because Madison was at a local television station. Let's just say it wasn't CBS or somebody else, but it was a very narrowed down bird type organization.
Peacock.
And yeah, the Peacock. So when he left, I remember a boss telling me this when I first started out. He kept trying to get me to buy a house and to buy a car.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't do it because A, I'm cheap, as you can tell by the way I'm dressed, but also
Me too.
I was like, why do I need that? Like, I've got a car, I have a place to live. And after 6 months, I said, I gotta ask, why are you asking this question?
To lock you down?
Because we would own you. Like, he didn't mean it in a mean way, but he realized I wasn't gonna do it. I bought my first car that I was working. I was going on sales calls in a car that cost $1,200. And I was trying to get that thing down to $1,000 because I just won't spend money. But his thing was, you will have to go out and sell more. You're on a commission or salary-based deal. We'll own you because you'll have these payments to make, right? So Madison, when
That's
you
a good
got
motivation. Like, hey, I'm going to give you more expenses in your personal life.
I'm going to make the
so
water
you're locked
higher.
out.
I know you're swimming, but I'm going to make it just a little higher each time. But
That's
that was a
hilarious.
question, like, he makes me feel good about quitting my job, and I did that like 9 years ago. But in your situation, you had a little different thing where, like, you were doing extremely well.
Yeah.
Right? And you had to make that decision to leave that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell there's pain in your heart right now while you're listening to him. Like,
I know.
well, what did you leave behind?
Next 4th of July will be a year for me. So
happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah. But I mean, a year's gone so quick. And if you were to ask me in October, like if I had to go back to October and start where I was, man, I don't know. I wanted the relief, that freedom of getting away from being, in my terms, controlled in some ways. And then when the reality kicked in of that, it was kind of like this mix of like good and bad emotions, like the freedom, also with like now the pressure of getting it off the ground. And best experience I ever went through in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think we met shortly after. So you were in that. I'm free, man. I'm free as a bird.
Yeah, but now what do I do?
Yeah, and then a couple weeks later, we get a text like, I'm not ready to talk right now. I'm not ready.
I mean, I was kind of the same in a way, but for me, it was more of like, it's time to buckle down and go even harder than I was before. Because that very first day, my very first day full time, I was like, man, this is it. I mean, I can go back if I want to, but in my head, I'm telling myself, there's no going back.
Yep.
Like this is a path. Once I start working on this path, I have to stay on this path. And I was afraid. I called a couple friends like, hey, man, I just did something. I quit my job. In my head, I'm like, they're going to act like, no way, why did you do that? But they're like, dude, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Like, everybody I called was like, that's awesome. Like, I've seen you work. I've seen your hustle. I've seen you're posting on Facebook all the time. Like, dude, you got this. This is what you wanted. You got it. I'm proud of you. I'm like, okay. So, all these positive, attention. I was like, this is, okay. So, that just kind of erased all that, fear of like what if because I like to think ahead. I'm always thinking what if, but when I get in that trend, I need somebody to give me that motivational talk to get me out of it so I can get back to being focused. So that's kind of it for me. And then the scariest one was my parents. How my parents were going to feel about
Oh, you
this.
mean you hadn't told them you were going to quit, and then you thought,
nice. Yep.
I brought it up. I brought it up.
It's great.
It's great.
Bro.
What are you doing? I quit my job.
You want to go to lunch every single day this week?
I'm free.
I brought it up. I was like, look, I might be quitting my job because I have so much shit going on this month, so much wedding, so much project. I just can't bear it. There's too much going on. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, my mom was, kind of afraid. My dad was afraid, man. He was like, oh, no.
What are you doing?
Because, I mean,
does he also have a name that I can't pronounce? I was just curious.
It is Kasi.
Kasi?
Oh,
it means
we'll
Sunday.
bring him on.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously?
Wait a second. You got to
On Monday, he's Sunday.
Yeah. When he
That's
said
awesome.
that's what his name means, I said, get out of here. And he said, no, it means Monday. His name is Monday.
My name's synonymous with women, so.
Yeah, that is true. Listen, you're going to like this. So anytime we talk about Madison, they say, who's she? No matter who we're talking about, you should
Even after they meet me, it's the weirdest.
Yeah, it's great. Well, it has to do with the fact that he wears these tiny shirts, but we always say, we got somebody that can handle that. We'll bring Madison. They're like, I'd love to meet her. But I'm sorry, we had to get on your name just because I didn't believe that was true, and then your dad's name is Sunday.
Yeah.
This show is ridiculous at this point.
We have a new name for the show.
Yeah, so your father, Sunday, is very afraid that you quit your job, so go on.
Yeah, so it was, just the beginning itself, he was a little afraid, but he was like, hey, man, if this is what you want. But he supported me all the way. He's like, if this is what you want and you got it, I'm behind you. But his main question was, if you had to go back, can you go back?
Right.
I was like, yes, I can, but that's not the plan.
But how'd you feel about that question?
No F.
Because Madison got a pitch at the last minute, right? You were packing up, you were going to get out of there, and they said, well, let's talk.
Yeah.
Doesn't that somewhat stop your momentum a little bit when you want to be an entrepreneur? Like,
to the normal person, yeah. But to his point earlier, I'm thinking bigger. I'm not thinking where I'm at right now. And so that just rolled off. I didn't even think about it. It wasn't even a question. There's nothing that could have brought me back. Zero. Because, and the other side of the parents part, I was 31 when I left, and my parents, I like to keep them informed of what I got going on, but at the same time, they don't know my day-to-day. They don't know what I'm really doing. They don't have a job and kind of the concept of it. So there's always that fear when you're telling family and friends and stuff. They're like, wait, what? Like you're kind of, that's like a big step to be like, hey, I'm stepping away from my job. And the last thing you want to hear is, why are you doing that? And I had so many people like, you got to be careful. I've seen a lot of businesses that fail. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not a lot of people.
but I think a lot of people think being an entrepreneur, like you're opening up like a Hardee's or something like that. Like you're buying something that's a physical. None of the things that we're doing are physically related. Like, they're not tangible until, I mean, you could print your stuff out, but
Right.
they're all creative solutions to things. I always get nervous when someone's like, I'm going to buy this bar. And I'm like, well, I'll see you at the divorce hearing because you're going to need a friend because
Yep.
you're going to lose your tail.
Yeah.
But that's why what you're doing is, like, Madison and I are familiar with it because he was in TV for so long. He knows what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to, I don't have the ability that you have to make these things, but I always thought, if I could find this, that somebody could locally could produce these things. Most of the time, you have to call somebody out of state, or you get somebody that, we had somebody pitch us if we put them on retainer. If we put them on retainer for $3,000 a month, they do any project we want.
I bet they would.
Yeah. So
I need some landscaping done in my house.
Yeah, that's what I do. I pay a guy just cut my grass in the winter. I don't care about during the
That's
summer.
it.
I just want to make sure you're taken care of.
Yes.
So when you quit, day one, I always like to know what somebody's day one. I can tell you what mine was because it was the day after the Celtics lost in the Game 6, and I was
Who did lose?
hungover. I'm not gonna bring it up. It might have been the Lakers. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
But I remember I had that day, and I'm not going to take that day off. I'm going to be productive, and I realized I have nothing to do. I have a computer, and I have nothing to do. What's your day one?
Oh man, I went all out. I woke up. It's kind of like one of those moments where you wake up, you put on your slipper, and you slide across the floor dancing, and you go brush your teeth, music playing in the
You
background.
were describing my Thursday.
Every Thursday.
But like,
He's like so cheery. I can't take it. We need the summer of Todd to come back here because I felt like that was medium. This is like extra large. Go on.
but I just kind of woke up, sat down. I knew I had work to do, but I sat down. I was like, no, this is what I need to figure. What I need to make my man cave now. I got to figure out where I'm gonna work, what I need. So I went out and bought a big old desk. Just set it up the next day. What took me actually started the first day. When I got home, I was so excited about this new desk I got for my computer. When I got home, I opened the trunk. It was so heavy, couldn't get it out. It was just me and my little brother, and we were weak. We could not lift this table. We finally got in the house and just going through that whole minute of burning so much calories. I forgot my car doors were open. My whole car door was open. My trunk was open. I was like, okay, let's open this. I opened it up, started setting it up. 6 hours later, when I was going to throw the box out, mother was like, Kodjo. I'm like, what's up? Your car's open, man. Everything is open. I'm like, oh.
You're just so pumped up about
I
building this
ran out
desk.
there. I was like, man, I had to check the car, make sure there was no animals in there. I'm like, I wasn't afraid of take anything. I was just afraid of raccoons and stuff.
Raccoon driving his car
Oh,
down
I
the
thought you
street.
meant like you're parking with the doors open at Jurassic Park. I don't know.
Nah.
What animals are
I
getting
was
in
more
there?
I was more concerned about a raccoon in my car than anything getting stolen.
You have some
So-
odd fears.
You don't feel that? No, I mean, those. How long did it take you to put that desk together? Isn't that the worst?
2
putting
days.
Together? Oh.
A whole day and then finish it up the next because I was going to 12 and 12 a.m. Then I had to go to bed. Woke up the next morning and I finished it off.
Mike's never had to build a desk
It's
before.
it was I didn't know it was gonna take me that long. It was a big desk, but all the pieces were so small. The instruction was I believe 40 steps. You gotta go through all these different steps. It was just ridiculous.
Listen, the biggest fight I have gotten into with my business partner is when we bought desks and he asked me what desks I wanted and bought the ones I told him not to buy. And then they show up and they're they're like you were saying, heavy. I couldn't even lift it by myself. And then as soon as you see glue as a part of the desk that you're building, that's the biggest red flag. And
I had glue, so I was like, man.
Ah.
And I thought when I looked at it in person, it looked like it was oak wood. This is oak wood. It's very strong, it's sturdy. Nope.
Yeah.
It was some parts were oak wood, some parts were fake, some parts were sheets of I'm just like, what is this?
And you still got to.
I'll take it. It was on sale. I got it
There
for
you go.
cheap. Why not? So
That's a good first day, though.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, I
man.
mean, that was a whole first day. Just
Yeah.
a desk. But you're never going to forget that day, right? That first
Oh,
day of
nah.
freedom.
I just went all out.
My
Bought my desk and computer.
my realization was just the time. I remember it was 3
You mean
o'clock.
because time was unlimited now?
Right, yeah.
But you felt like you had to fill it all.
Well, yeah, it was almost like it was 3 o'clock and I was done with everything I needed. And it was the second week and I'm sitting there at my house working and I'm thinking I'm doing exactly, I'm spending the amount of time I need to work my project, not just sitting here burning hours in the day because I have to. And I realized that time gap between being controlled by a time that you had to be somewhere as opposed to working at your own pace, that was the biggest realization for me.
You know, something funny, and I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I saw a quote that it was referring to agencies. It was the goal is to be creative, not to make yourself busy. As in, don't pretend that you're working just so you're filling those hours. But that applies to anything, right? I mean, I'm sure there's times you're probably messing around with a project so you kind of feel like you're fulfilling that 9 to 5. What are hours? 9 to 5, 8:30 to 5,
5,
whatever it was. But you know, I used to think there was a car dealer in town that I know this guy used to go up every day and work out for 2 hours, right? He'd still come back, so he'd still get his full 8 hours or whatever in. And I thought, that's crazy. You can't do that. And yet, sales were never affected because he was gone. He was taking self-care time.
Right.
That's the hardest thing I think for me is I used to sit there until, well, people will leave at 5:30, but I'm going to be here until 6, just in case they need something. And they never did. But when they did, it was always like 8:15, and they called you, and it's like, I could have been doing something
I was
else.
there till 6. You come in.
Oh, I still used to pick up the phone. Now it's just like you can go right to voicemail, and I'll find out what you need. I'll text you. You got it, boss. Whatever.
You got it, boss.
But don't you find that's the hardest thing to do is manage your time?
For sure. It's not even the time during the day gets so busy, and then at night you're like working. I mean, I don't even think about it anymore about working at night. It's just get the tasks done. But for sure, I mean, I think the big misconception of starting your own business is that we all have it easy now. We don't. It's not easier. It's more stressful. It's like everybody's like, oh, well, you can do whatever you want. You're your own boss. Like, why can't you go and do this with me at this particular time? You're like, just because I'm my own boss doesn't mean I'm like, don't have responsibilities or not accountable.
He's referring to conversations. I'm like, can we just go get coffee together?
Yeah, he always wants that. It's like 11 o'clock at night.
I'm the same way. I mean, I always want to hang out with my friends, but it's like, if I have to get something done, I just got to get it done, you know?
Yep.
But, I mean, a lot of my friends are now starting to understand that. Before, it was more like, man, you just don't want to hang out with us anymore. I'm like, no, I'm working on something here. You know, I'm working towards
I've
something.
looked at your Facebook, though. I wouldn't hang out with the majority of those people. When you quit, one of the things that we didn't really get into is, so your parents are supportive about it, but you've got one that's kind of worried. Do you think that you don't seem to be afraid of anything, and in your business, you're scrambling a lot more than Madison and I would, because we're calling on brick and mortar people that need our help, and we have all this experience. Do you think that you kind of charged ahead because of your upbringing? I mean, is there something in your upbringing that was different? Like Madison and I have different upbringings, but it's the same goals were kind of instilled. You seem to be real cheery about the fact that you're going to have to walk up this mountain, and then when you get to the other side, you're going to have to walk even higher to get down it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, I just have this positive mindset of, you know, just looking for what I want and going to get it. That's just how I am as a person. Is because I don't give up. A lot of people that know me, they'll tell you I'm very driven. I don't give up. I can go through the hardest thing. I'll keep going. So I'm pretty fearless. So when I make this decision, I always like do things by goals. I'm always going by whether it's a small goal, big goal. But quitting my job was one of my biggest goals, and it was something I planned a while ago. So when I was graduating, I was like, okay, 2 years from now, I don't want to be working a full-time job. I want to be doing something bigger than that. When I quit my job, believe it or not, I did not realize that marks that 2 years. It was literally on the sharp, on the dot. On the day, it was marked 2 years. I did not realize it. So I was like, man, this feels great. And I was just going through my Facebook stories, and I saw my graduation picture. I'm like, holy crap, this is the 2 year mark. So it kind of happened, you know, just out the blue. I mean, yeah. So I'm like, it's great. So like a lot of my goals, that's how I accomplish it. I just kind of set that goal. I give myself a deadline, and I work toward that deadline. I've just been doing that for so long that any decision I make, I'm pretty much fearless because I know I've already planned ahead for what's coming.
Madison, when you decided to quit, how long did you give yourself a timeline? I gave myself 30 days and actually said it out loud to my former boss. Like, this is a longer story, but anyway, as he has a flop sweat, I literally said, you know what, I don't care about this because I'm out here in 30 days anyway. Don't ask me why I said it, but it
Nothing
was exactly...
was done, they're just like, cool.
No. Well, there was some yelling and screaming going on, and then I casually said I'm out of here in 30 days, so it doesn't matter. And I think it was because of all the other stuff going on. It was, what did he say? And when I left, I didn't purposely think I was doing it, but it was on the 30th day, and I was like, wow, that was pretty amazing. And I don't think I've ever been on time for anything other than that since then.
And you nailed it.
Yeah, nailed that. I nailed the landing.
Yeah. Well, I've always gone through calculated risks in my life, When I was in high school, I did some things. When I was in college, when I got out of college. So, like, for me, it was a calculated risk. I knew what I was getting into, but I also didn't just jump in. I mean, Lincoln Wallace was formed 3 years ago. It took me 3 years to finally pull that trigger. Doesn't mean it was less stressful because of that, but I didn't tell anybody. Nobody at the station knew. I walked in and just did it in one of my one-on-one meetings, because there's no good way to tell somebody that. And if you're not benefiting them anymore, then they really don't care. And
Yeah.
I didn't care. I was like, I'm leaving anyway, and it doesn't matter.
You say, bye, girl.
I was like, bye, Felicia.
I mean, I like where I work wasn't really, meant for me, but I really like the people I work with. A lot of them knew what I did,
Yeah, that's
and
tough.
they supported what I did. So I really liked it. When I was leaving, it was hard because I was like, man, I'm leaving some great friends behind that I'll probably see once in a while now instead of every day. But
then you get some new ones, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Don't point at me. But I want to get to that after the break. We're up against a break now, but I want to get into your friends and kind of how that dovetails into your goals. But right now we're going to go to break. You're listening to the 101 brought to you by Lincoln Wallace.
Yay, sports.
Yay, sports. Jimmy, we can jump back in if you want.
Oh,
You
okay.
good? Or do you
No,
need a break?
Just
You can do it.
15 seconds.
That's fine.
I got to tell
There's
them.
no rush.
A missing
Two.
commercial. Be right back.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, I need to stretch. Could we set up like a lay down when I do
Is it too tough for you to
just
sit in that
turn the
stool?
mic like this and I'm laying down.
I feel like this show is too taxing on your body.
It's I mean, look at me. I feel like
That chair is horrible.
it's
I'll
horrible.
give him that.
I mean,
That's
thank
why
you,
I
Rachel.
always stand.
It's
You
true.
always stand because if you're sitting on that stool, no one can see you.
Actually,
If I'm sitting on that
Lunch.
stool, I'm taller than Madison.
Right back
He's my
there.
lunch.
Good, Doug. Just,
Oh,
it's
okay.
missing during the.
I got you.
No, I'm good over here. I'm awkwardly positioned just like I want to be.
Perfect.
So he's ready to roll, and I'm like Andrew, not staring out the window.
Yeah.
That's the only good news about this furniture is you can't. I don't know how he does it. We got a guy who looks like the
Well, he used to
Bonnie
lean
Paper Towel
back in the
guy,
corner.
and he'll look out the window, and then he'll do this.
His chair will just start
He'll
turning.
put his hand up, so I'll go, Andrew, I have something. He'll go, what? I'm like,
We
He thought you wanted to call on him.
We should do the show live from a rooftop.
oh, I forgot to tell you, I found stuff that you can plug into your phone with mics, and we can literally talk anywhere we want.
Yes.
I don't know how to get it off.
Oh.
I'm saying I don't know how to turn it into how Jim sends us MP. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So I
If
found
you can
50%
figure out
of
how to get it to an MP3 file, or even an MP2 file, I can convert it.
I know. I'm just trying to figure that out.
So you mean we can do call-in stuff?
No. So let's say the four of us are sitting around, and you can put this thing into your phone, so your phone becomes
The microphone. Or
The
like
Odyssey.
some kind of Adobe Audition,
Yeah.
or Pro Tools or whatever
But
to
it's not
record it.
Pro Tools. That's the issue. Is I don't know how we could get it to Jim where he could.
There's got to be a way to convert that.
There is.
We
but
got a
that's how-
video guy.
You got to figure out a way to do that.
This guy.
Yeah.
He'll
Yeah.
find out the answer.
And
It's
you could be live from Mike's house or live from
like
Starbucks.
Daryl Hall.
Live from
No,
Mike's
this
house.
would be like
exactly.
synced, or would you guys just be? Would it be like a conference,
I was saying,
conversation?
no.
type
I
of-
was saying like if we were say the mics weren't here, or say we were in the green room, we could just set this thing up, or we could record right into the phone.
Oh, that's easy.
Or they could sit at Starbucks.
Yeah,
That's easy.
but that way it's mobile, so that if we wanted to find Andrew, we could be like,
That'd be
"What job
awesome.
site are you on?" And we'll
And
be
go
there.
up on
Drive around and find
Yeah.
Andrew and
So
bother
we-
him on a
That's-
rooftop.
That'll be
Yes.
because I know I do music too, so I have my own little booth, portable booth. I can plug it into my interface
Do you want me to
at
spit
home.
hot lyrics? Is that what you want?
Yes, dude,
I'm a
sick.
singer, not a
Hey.
rapper.
Yeah. He was a DJ coming out of high
Exactly.
I was DJM baby.
Yeah.
That was,
school. We should probably
DJ
bring
Mad
that up.
Madison.
That- yeah, I
You
like
know
that.
what? I think we're gonna have to bring that up. today.
yeah, that's it.
It's like my
He
favorite
told his
stuff.
DJ story.
Jim goes like this, 3 minutes. And then he, out of nowhere, he starts telling this story about being a DJ. And I'm like this.
It takes like
I'm
5
looking
minutes.
at Jim's fingers going away, and I'm like, this is so
I just
good.
kept going. That's a great story.
So
though.
he finally stops.
Rachel
and
was crying.
Yeah. He finally stops, and I go, what was that about? Okay.
That was a few weeks ago. It was a
Yeah.
great story. It was a
Okay,
great
you're-
story.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome back to the 101, brought to you by Lincoln Wallace. Again, our guest is Kodjo Somana. Did I get it?
Yep. Yeah, again.
Man, you could be on the national spelling bee.
I'm telling you.
I can't
It's usually
spell it. I cannot spell it, but I can like phonetically pronounced.
Yeah, it's just impressive.
It's usually Kodjo, Somano, or something mixed up, but nobody ever get the O or the A in there.
well,
I feel your pain, man. I gotta show my ID when I get in an Uber. They're like, "So is Madison coming?" I'm like, "Actually, I'm Madison." Can I
Is
see
this
your
going
ID?
on her credit card?
Yeah, I'm like, "Actually, yes, please."
And I think we should also say Kodjo, the name means weekday. So
Weekday.
Yeah, weekday, and his father's name is Weekend. So I thought we would get back to this conversation because before the break, what we were talking about was your goals, right? In Madison, we're all very goal driven. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, as we were going to break, you said you had friends that kind of didn't understand what was going on with your time. And Madison is kind of the best example of this. What changed when you became an entrepreneur? You start your own small business. Your time started getting eaten up, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, it was the same way when I started in sales at the previous job. Like, you have to build up your client base, and you have to get that pipeline going. So, like, the first 3 or 4 months, I felt like I was not doing anything. Because, because you're trying to just get that momentum going. And then about 6 months in, things started really hitting, and I'm like, every day is crazy. But it wasn't crazy in my mind because I knew that I was working for myself. I literally was just talking to Dr. Sauer this morning. I go, the best part about the time that I spend with my clients is that I know that I get to make every decision and I get to provide that customer service piece, that I don't have to go to anybody else and be like, hey, how do I do this? Or get stressed out of how somebody's going to respond, like going to my boss and be like, hey, this client needs it. Like, just
Those
that.
were the worst.
Oh, yeah.
I got
The
bad
worst.
news and I got to bring it to you. Not that you're going to fix it, but just so you could yell at me because you
Before
don't
I
do
fix it.
Right. You're going to tell me no answer and I'm going to fix it, and then you won't go, here's the pat on the back.
Yep.
I just had this conversation. Actually, I was talking to my dad. He said, what's the one thing that you miss? And I was like, I miss winning like salesperson of the month or quarter. And then 2 hours later, getting yelled at while you're holding the piece of paper.
They
Like this,
just signed.
yeah, you got the trophy or something. You're like, you're yelling at me. Okay, good. And there was never any like, I probably took that too far, right?
No, I mean, there was one thing that I miss the most is when I make an awesome sale for myself, like now I'm high-fiving myself.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's because I have no friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Totally different issue.
Yeah,
I'm the
I
same
have
way.
Rachel around, and
It's
I'm
the
just
same way.
I'm high fiving myself because I put my hand up and she just doesn't. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm celebrating
Yes,
for me,
I
for
win.
the company. I don't care if you
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, don't high-five me.
Never hire anybody. Just trust me, and don't have them around 6 days a week. All I can tell you is it's a grievous mistake. I want to talk about though, like you said, you noticed like friends have kind of dropped off, and Madison suggested getting new friends. I suggest getting rid of all people.
Friends. Live in your basement.
So somewhere in the middle. But did you guys can answer in either order. When you had people drop off, did you feel like there was kind of like a jealousy of, like you said, Madison, people think you can do whatever you want now, or you got all this money or whatever? What did you notice when you first started out?
I mean, me personally, it was like a combination of both. Like you could definitely sense the jealousy portion of it, where people like, and most people that are jealous don't believe it. They're like, oh yeah, I mean, he's not, but I ignored that for the most part.
Give me an example of like, not a person's name, but if you want to write it down and tell me who it was. But like an example of somebody who was jealous of was it because you had the freedom, or because they thought you think you're better than us, whatever?
I think it's people just can't, like, they can't relate to what you're doing. Like, it's so out of the norm for them. You wake up at 7, you go to work at 8, you leave at 5:30. Like, that doesn't, even from, and I think all of us could say the same thing. Like, when that changes, I think some of those friendships change because you don't relate to them the same way, in the sense of, like, they're not in the same mindset that you're in. And it's not like that you don't want to be their friends, but I've had to not cut people off, but I'm tired of explaining to people why I can't do something because I'm trying to grow my business or I have this piece going, and then it's like, well, you don't want to hang out. So the jealousy piece definitely is there, but then I also think there's just people can't relate to it like we can. Like, I don't even think about the 9 to 5 anymore. That's so off my radar. And I think when people think that, you work for yourself, that you can do whatever you want whenever you want, and you can, but they still can't.
You
Wrap your mind around
you
it.
still gotta do the work.
Mm-hmm.
So you can detach for a little bit and do something, but then you got to get back into it.
Yeah.
Kodjo, how do you feel about that?
With me, my friends, they're like me. They're self-driven like me as well. So they all got something they're going for as well. But for me, it was. I mean, my friends understood me. I didn't have to drop nobody off. I didn't have to cut nobody off. All my friends support me 100%. They're always behind me.
What kind of life are
But
you living?
listen,
Everything's so
listen.
easy for him.
No,
Everything's
no.
so easy. I'm kind of
Cause
getting tired of it.
We're his
I'm
only
surrounded
friends.
by. I'm
Like,
surrounded
we're complaining about things,
We
and he's
support
like,
you.
it's perfect. I
Because-
never had a problem in my
because
life.
I'm surrounded by a lot of people that support me, you know, and they always have my back. So like,
Sure.
it's just one of those. Think of it as like in a relationship where, okay, sometime you know your girlfriend want to do this with you, but you can't. She gets upset, and the next thing you guys are good again. It's kind of that. That's kind of what I
Yeah,
wish I
that's
had with
what-
my
yeah.
friends.
I've never been able to get
So,
them to be
you've
good
never had a
again
girlfriend.
afterwards. It's always just continually angry.
Well, that's it. My friends are very supporters, and they understand me when I say, "Hey, man, I gotta get this done. I can't come." It's okay, cool, man. You do your thing. Sometimes like, "Hey, are you trying to avoid us or what, man? We trying to kick." I'm like, I can't, right?
I just can't.
But they don't bash me. They don't, talk back and say, "Hey, man, you figured it out." But there's been time where they'll be upset because I'm just avoiding them. But that's my intention to avoid. I'm just busy.
Right.
Right.
But they kind of, after going full time, they kind of understood what I was working toward. Because now that I'm full time, I got the time to kick it. I got the time to hang out with my friends. Now I got time to spend with my friends now. So now they understood why I had to do what I had to do to get where I had to get. And I wasn't doing it on purpose. That was just what that journey and that path had me do. I had to focus on the work. I had to work hard. In order for me to do that, I had to limit all distraction and all the free time, all the hanging out, and all that stuff. But
Well, one, I'm not going to kick it with you. You've said that a lot. But the other part
Mike,
is...
first of all, Mike doesn't kick it with
I don't
anyone.
kick it with anybody. But the funny part that I think is, going back to what Madison was saying, is that people don't understand the journey you're on or what you're doing. The worst part was I didn't leave the industry I was in. And then I lost friends because I didn't give them money. So I was on the other side where I used to sell to clients, and now I'm buying for clients.
Right. And they're
And the
thinking that you're going to give them.
Oh, it was the greatest thing ever to realize who's like really your friend or not. It's like, well, you don't buy me, so I'm not going to talk to you. Or every time you're talking, or it's like, do you want to go to this? You want to go to Muirfield where everybody goes. You want to go, and then the entire time when you just want to undo all the training of AA and get hammered at this golf event with your friends, everyone's trying to sell you. And it was really, I thought it was the coolest thing because you got to see like, oh, this thing is just like a circle. Like it just goes around. Someone's buying, someone's selling at all times. But when you remove yourself from that, you realize who's really on your side. You know what I mean? And then you can kick it with them. Don't look at me when I said that.
Yes. We came from a little bit different industry. Right?
Yeah.
Like you stayed
Right,
in
but
that
here's the
industry.
thing. With the work he's doing, he's going to, somehow he's going to get dragged into that.
Oh,
Because
for
you've
sure.
seen the quality of the stuff he's doing.
It's awesome.
And there's some things that we would probably be using him for. Someone's going to want that.
Agreed.
And that's going to drag him into the, Trump always says the drain the swamp. That swamp just gets replenished over and over. Like Madison leaving, and it's not that they're bad people. You
No.
just get caught in that wheel where your job is to make money for that corporation.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's
No.
your MO in life, awesome. The thing that gets frustrating is when you decide to go and do something on your own and people, because they can't relate to it, because there's jealousy or what, it doesn't matter what it is, like trying to have to justify the reason why you're following something. Like, you don't have to believe in me. I don't care. Because if I was basing off what I'm doing is people believing in me, I'd never be doing what I'm doing. Like, you said it earlier, like, I believe in myself and it's going to happen and I'm going to make it work. And you probably had the same mindset, Mike, when you left. Like, you're going to make it work. Like, what is the other alternative? There's nothing more stressful than knowing that you don't progress unless you put in that work.
Right. Well, to be honest, I didn't realize what I was doing until it was 2 years. Like,
About
I
a year
just
ago.
worked every single day. Yeah. Well, there was a point after the 2 years, and I think it was like on LinkedIn, I got like a congratulations on your work anniversary, and I panicked because I thought of, did I really quit my job? Like, I threw myself so far into this thing, I didn't realize, like, I wouldn't take a day off. Like, it was every single day, 7 days a week. Not because I had to. It's like, I felt like I was behind.
Right.
And I don't know who I was, like, running with. But I thought I was behind, so I'm like,
you don't
I'm
want your
gonna
boss to get mad at you.
Yeah.
You don't have
Well, that was the thing. It's like,
your boss or your clients become your boss.
Oh,
That's
you
the
don't
fear
think
for me.
so? Yeah.
I
but you,
gotta
have,
get it done.
but you have to
That's
have
so
kind of
true.
like that emergency break where you're like, stop and think about it. Like, I'm in charge of what I'm doing. And so now I've taken advantage of that, and we only work 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
But again, in the beginning, it was, I've got to do this because someone else can beat me to it.
Right. What about the responsibility piece? I had this moment like last month where I was like, now that I'm working with these clients in this specific field, I can't just walk away from that. I mean, like, you could technically, but, like, when you're working, like, at the station or whatever you're doing, at any moment, you could walk out that day or within 2 weeks or whatever you want. But now that it's your business, it's like, these clients depend on me.
Or you could trade it. Remember the days you could trade it? Like, this is too... You could
Like,
trade an account. So let's say you
yes.
had an account and you're just like,
yes.
personally, this
It's
isn't
just
good.
not
Let's just
working.
trade because that person's better. And meanwhile, you never got anything good when you're trading. That didn't even happen when you were like packing your lunch. It's like, I put my finger in this, I'm going to trade it. That's
Right.
basically what changing accounts was. Like, take this, it's a bomb, and I already pulled the pin.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was the part I had to get used to was it's not DEFCON 1. You don't have to be ready at all times.
Mhm.
Like, there's a flow to this.
Yeah.
And I always felt like when I got out that I forgot that. Because I had no one to ask. If you have, like, in your case, the reason I love what you're doing is you're just driving this thing straight ahead and you're grateful for what you're getting. Whereas, like, Madison and I are like, our thing is we're taking care of the worst parts of everybody's business. The part that's garbage.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting to, like, video them in their best
Be
state.
creative and
Yeah, like you're getting to make them look better than they already are, and we are coming along afterwards, and we're just with the broom. We're just sweeping up the mess. We should have them
we
on
should
more.
swap job swap.
Yeah,
Actually, I had a more. I'm actually going through what you used to. You was going through where like you forget you're in control. You're like, I get this. Because with me, if you look at a lot of my reviews online, I deliver fast. Like I'll do a wedding if I'm not in my peak season. I'll do a wedding and I'll have the highlight video to like the couple the next day or the couple days after. And I was doing that for songs. I was just burning. I was like, man, I need to slow down. I'm full time. I can take a break when I need to. I haven't watched TV in so long, and I was about to go crazy. And as a filmmaker, I used to watch movies on Netflix at least twice a week, or go to a movie theater at least once a week. I haven't done that in a while. I was like, no. And then one day I was like, you know what, man? I'm gonna take a break. Today's my day. I'm gonna go out watch a movie, hang out with my little brother. You know, we're gonna go. We'll do something
Go
different.
kick it, right?
Yeah, we'll go kick it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm not kicking it.
Yeah, Mike's
I
kicking it. I
don't
like
care how many times anybody. I'm not kicking it with you or anybody else.
Mike's. He's not very cool.
I'm a
But-
non-kicker.
He's a punter.
But it was just like that mindset of like, I'm still trying to get the hang of the whole, you know, me being in control. Because like, if I'm like a machine, once I start working, if nobody stops me, I can't stop. It was the same when I was in college too. After class, I was in my dorm room working on. I'll finish my homework. So now, which means typical, you know, student. You finish your homework, you go out with your friend, you go grab a drink, you do something. Me, it was different. I finished my homework. I want to work on a short film script. I'm in my room just working. My friends don't kick in my door and drag me out. I'm not gonna get off that computer. I just become so addicted to the work, you know.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good. I mean, I was the opposite. I was trying to find the person to
Yeah.
do the work for me. I'm
I
like,
was
hey,
waiting for you
could
to
you
try to
help me with this?
Hey man, I would like to go out. Will you finish this?
I mean, that's the thing. That was the thing about
That's good,
good
though.
about having roommates because they get you out of, you know, that work phase. But
Get
right
locked
now, I don't have roommates anymore. It's just me. I'm on the computer, and once I'm on the computer, my parents not going to drag me to the computer. My little brother's not going to drag me to the computer. So I have to make that decision. So sometimes it's hard to go, okay, let's just walk away from the work and, you know, do something, you know. But I'm still getting a hang of it, trying to push more towards that. But I just love what I do so much. When I started working on something, it's hard to stop.
It's hard to tell. You're not positive enough, and I don't really like
You
it.
seem like you hate it.
Guys, we're going to take one more break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to hear more from Professor Positive over here. You're listening to the 101 brought to you by Lincoln Wallace. All right, home stretch. I want you to plug, like, how people can get a hold of you and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have a website.
Okay.
You'd prefer to
Here's the
send
thing, though. Whenever I send my website to people, if I don't show it to them, they always spell my name wrong.
Right, but that's why you're going to spell it out to them.
Okay.
But again,
How do you see people say your name?
Kodjo.
Kodjo.
My friends have an accent like Konyo.
yeah.
What's up, Konyo? I'm like, oh,
Kojo.
Yep.
Kojo.
Kodjo.
But people don't know about that D in the middle, the silent D.
It doesn't.
Same
Oh,
with
it's
me. I got that
K-O-J-O
D
or
there.
C-O-J-O.
K-O-J-O.
I gotta start saying Khadijo, like you say, so they can spell it right.
I like a JoJo.
Jojo.
Yeah, it's a few extra
He's
J's. Big deal.
Tricky
K-O-DJ.
name.
Like a DJ.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't get your DJ experience in.
Yeah.
No,
I never get good plugs on the show.
I know.
don't even
No,
know
we
what
only
I'm
say Lincoln Wallace 35 times a
I
show.
know. We should switch it up. It's brought to you by DJ M.
Brought to you by DJ M of Lincoln Wallace.
Yeah, it's
I think we're gonna have to bring it back at that. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Brought to you by Mixmaster Madison.
it's a shell company of Lincoln Wallace.
Yeah, that's where all the money goes. It's the DJ M.
It's to
There's
Mixmaster
always money
Madison.
in the DJ booth.
Yep.
He's Mad Madison and Mixmaster Madison.
Oh, I like
Mixmaster Madison.
Man, that's a tongue twister.
You're gonna need a
Mixmaster
t-shirt.
Madison.
No, on the
on
mic,
wheels of
Mixmaster
steel.
Madison.
I just feel like you're at like one of those
Mixmaster Madison.
airport
Shaking the
strip
legs
clubs
and rocking
doing
the
that.
docks.
Yeah.
He's on the wheels of steel.
Yes,
There you
that's
go.
What does that
What?
mean?
Just like
when
that.
they say the wheels of steel, what is that?
I
actually
assume
mean?
Railroad
Techniques
Tracks.
1200s. Come on, man. Like Techniques 1200s, 12-inch singles. You're old enough to remember that.
I
They're not.
remember
They're
that,
young.
but what I
12-inch
I
single
thought
I
they
don't
meant
know what that is.
I
You
thought
don't know
they
what
meant the
vinyl or a
records.
record player is. Ask your mom
Like,
and
I
dad.
thought-
They would know.
So you're talking about the turntables?
Yeah,
was
the wheels of steel.
Because
I grew up with baby records. Those like those
the Muppets.
CD, the CDs.
Like, this is the way the
CD
teddy
oh,
bears have their
I know what you're saying.
picnic.
I forgot all about CDs.
CDs,
I was
I
like,
know.
CDs what?
I used to own
CDs.
3,000 CDs.
My buddy lives in Indiana, doesn't have Wi-Fi at his house, and
He said he lives in Indiana. I would have figured that.
Yeah, and I go, so what do you do besides your do you watch movies? He goes, yeah, I have all kinds of DVDs. I go, how many times have you watched those over? He's like, oh, over 50.
Like
I'm
1,000.
like, I didn't even know.
I don't have
CDs.
Wi-Fi at my place, but I've got cable TV.
No, that helps.
Yeah.
How do you not have? How do people not have Wi-Fi?
I know. It's like not
Wait,
having
but you don't-
oxygen
you
to
don't-
someone, a young
You
person
don't get
like
on
him.
the
It's like,
computer though. At night,
no,
right?
I don't.
See, we're all addicted to that stuff. Like it's crack. Like we gotta constantly. I gotta get on the internet.
I'm
in case
not.
miss
I don't play
something.
video games either. I
I
know
check
something's wrong
emails.
with me.
I took my trash out with my
I'm
phone.
gonna see
in my
Madison's
hand the other
doctor soon.
Can't
I'm
let
like
it go.
walking out on my phone with the trash. I'm like, I'm addicted to this thing.
Yeah, I'm addicted.
This is ridiculous. I have a shower with it now. It's weird.
You should
Waterproof
just have
phone.
like one of those little things for your hair over top of it.
A loofah.
Yeah, they make a thing. It's like some kind of caddy that you have, and you can shower with your phone, so that you can. And I'm like,
I've seen
I
that.
don't need to. I don't need to be that tuned.
My
in.
luck, I'd hit Facebook Live by accident.
Yeah,
It's like back in the 80s. It was a radio in the shower.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's
Oh, I
like
still do
I've
that.
got my phone in the shower.
Yeah, I have to listen to my '70s.
But you're right. You don't want to hit Facebook Live when you're in the shower. That would be bad.
Yeah.
I mean, good for you, bad for everyone.
Really bad.
I remember once, it wasn't in the shower, but I was doing a drone live. I was starting a drone, I was going live, and I couldn't stop the thing. After I was done flying, going live, I couldn't
The
stop.
drone kept going.
The live video just kept going.
Oh.
Facebook wouldn't let me stop it. I did everything. I got to log out my account and
You know,
then log
went
back
to Saudi
in.
Arabia,
So-
dropped some bombs.
Holy cow.
Did you eventually get it to stop?
Yep.
It's
And
still
I had to
going.
delete it.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep it.
Yeah.
I had to delete it. It was just, they just wouldn't let me. I was like, man, what if this was like something else? I
This
wanted
guy
to
was
stop?
on Facebook Live for 11 straight hours.
He's hardcore.
Yeah.
He's eating cereal now.
Most of it's grass. All right, let's bring it on. Let's bring it on, boys. Let's
do it.
Like
Ready?
the Oak Ridge boys. All right.
Here we go. Oak Ridge boys.
Welcome back to the 101, brought to you by Lincoln Wallace. We're in the home stretch, boys, so let's finish this up. Kodjo, we were talking about your business, and we have not really plugged your business.
Mhm.
So this would be the time. If somebody wants to see what you do, because it's not just that you kind of do a little bit of everything, but weddings are your big thing, wedding videos and all that. Let people know how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, you can find me easily on Google just by typing in Kodjo Arts. Kodjo is spelled Kodjo. Some people misspell it, but that's how you spell it. And just add arts at the end with the S, and Google will kind of help you out from there. If you want to just get the direct website, it's kodjoarts.com, and I'll take you to the website. But I'm on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, any social media I'm pretty much on, so you can find me pretty easily. Or to make it a little easier for you, just search videography in Google, and I'll pop up there too.
Really?
Yeah.
Without putting your name in there?
Yep.
Does Google, when someone misspells your name, does it correct it for them? I'd be curious.
Google butchers it.
You know,
too,
like
so
if
it's
you're
hard.
saying aesthetics and you
It
can't
actually
spell
misspells. If you put Kodjo, Kodjo, Google will try to correct you and put Kojo. So it misleads them. It's the wrong spelling, the one I'm trying to avoid. So
Well, they should know that Mr. Monday cannot be spelled incorrectly,
That's right.
Oh, by the way, if you search Monday, I won't come up. Just so you know.
but something will. Something will.
Well.
Well, I don't know. We should Google it after the show.
That's true.
I love that he went straight to Google. He didn't say, look on YouTube, look at this.
'Cause that's
He
the
said,
easiest
go
way.
on Google.
So,
It's
yeah.
the
What if
easiest
you're
way.
on Bing? Can we use Yahoo?
Being works too. It's just a lot of people. It's easy for them to find me just by searching my name in Google. It just kind of brings up all my social media platforms.
So when the government's spying on you through Google, they can also find out what they're looking for.
Yeah.
I'm easy to find. I get prank calls too, so.
But that's a whole nother show. We're not
Yeah.
even gonna go into
Yeah.
that.
We should do it.
I mean, that's how easy I am to find. My friend will be like, "I want to. What's Kodjo? Kodjo Arts. Boom, got his number."
Well, let's talk about this because I want to cover this. This is your big season, right? Wedding season. This is
Yep.
what you quit your job for. I probably would phrase it a little differently the way I just said it because it sounded good,
Yeah.
but it's not good. But you're in full swing. Describe your work week because really it's heavy Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Correct.
Yours is the opposite of everybody else.
Correct. So for most people, they look forward to Fridays. For me, it's like Monday. But then again, there's no Monday because
You're working from.
I'm still
on the
working on
weekend.
Monday.
And his name
So-
is Monday.
Yeah, right.
So
Of course, that's your favorite day.
So I go out and I film, whether it's a wedding or a commercial project, I go out and film it Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And then Monday through Friday, I usually do my meetings, editing, phone calls, anything really that I can balance throughout the week. I pretty much do from this. It's kind of like my flex. That's where I'm most flexible. So if a lot of my friends come on the weekends, if I'm not working on the weekend, I get no phone calls from my friends. If I'm working on this, I'm on set doing my film, like the one I was telling you about. So my phone just blows up. So I'll say action, and we're in the scene. The scene is perfect. I'm loving what the actor's delivering. Everything is beautiful. This is like the 20th take. I'm about to get the take. My phone vibrates. Now we got to do that whole take over again because my friends can't wait. You know what I mean?
right.
So it's so Monday to Friday, usually the open, free time-ish.
Is that a majority of your work is weddings right now, or what?
Yeah, right now our biggest is weddings right now, but we're still doing a little bit of the corporate stuff, music video. Like I said, we got the music video going next month. We also got another dental project we're doing next month, and we got a few more stuff lined up as well. So it's kind of like back and forth type of a deal right now. But wedding is just.
But how
taking
cool
over.
is that?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he gets
it's
to, you're not having the same day ever. You know what I mean? So even if you're doing weddings, every wedding is different.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Like whenever I do weddings, I'm not the person that go to a wedding and go, okay, let's make this money. For me, what
You
I
shouldn't
do.
say that out loud when you
Yeah.
first get there.
Yeah,
No.
they did. It's really smart.
Unless they just paid you.
Yeah, right. Then you're good. Then you leave.
Now, that's not for me. And I also work. I have a partner I work with. Her name is Yasmin Reeves, and she's like my camera operator. She's that friend that stuck by me, from the beginning to where we're at.
But is
now.
she an employee or like a 1099 person?
She's my contractor right now.
All right.
But we're all working toward
I
that
love
bigger.
contractors on the show.
We're all working towards that
1099,
bigger,
Okay.
that bigger promotion. She want to become an employee, but I told her like employee. I don't know, man. That's a big task for me right now.
Yeah, you just told her on the show she's not going to be an employee, so I hope you're listening.
But
that's
she and I do a lot of projects we do together, and so we'll do Gooders weddings, and we criticize each other a lot. That's kind of where the quality of work comes into play, because if I'm filming something that doesn't look that great, the frame is not right, the movement is not right, she'll be like, dude, that sucks. Let me get this shot real quick. Or if she's doing a shot, I'm like, and I'm not feeling that shot at all. That sucks. Let me get this shot. You know what I mean? So that's our
That's
relationship.
good, yeah.
That's
So
why
we're
on the show, Madison tells you this show sucks and he never does
I
anything
do.
different.
Off air, though.
that's for bro or the quarter of a work, and just when we go to his wedding, it's just like, man, it's another fun day. We're just passionate. We're there because we want to make these couples memorable. When they see the video, we want them to cry, and we want them to go, wow. We don't want them to go, oh, this is just another wedding video. We want them to go, wow, and just see the heart and the passion we put into capturing it.
Arguably, it's the biggest day of their lives
Yeah.
for a lot of people. I don't know if I told you this. I used to DJ.
You know
Can I
what?
tell
I'm
you
so
that?
glad that you brought this up. And listen, I'm so glad you brought this up because, Kodjo, I don't know if you know this, but you're sitting with a serial entrepreneur, and his first business was being a DJ, in which Jim informed me the wheels of steel are actually the machines that I don't want to.
Turntables.
Yeah, the turntables. I don't want to cheat this experience. I want Madison to tell you where he started and where DJM comes from.
I'll give you the 30-second version.
No. You gave me and like a 9-minute version on a show.
But I was exhausted after telling that story.
I was exhausted after listening, but go ahead, 30 seconds. Impress this guy because he does
30 seconds.
He does music videos. We should do a music video.
Oh, with me DJing?
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
when I was in college, I wanted to find a way I could make money to put myself through college, so I started a business called DJM, and I bought all the equipment, and I set it up, and I just started, like, I told a couple of people, hey, I'm going to start DJing weddings. And I'm not kidding. The next thing I know, I'm doing weddings every weekend. And I got to the point where, like, I would have a 250-person wedding that I had to not only, like, sit down with them months in advance and go through everything that they wanted, but then all of that, I had to run the whole wedding, and I just did it on a whim.
Did you MC a lot?
I did all the MCing.
That's
Mike
the best part. I remember one time, funny story. That's just a real fun story. My partner I work with at Yasmin Ruiz the Root, I had to do her wedding. And since we're close friends, she kicked my butt that day. She said, Kodjo, here's what I want for my wedding. I want you to do photo. I want you to be one of the groomsmen. I want you to do video. I want you to do all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So the wedding came up and I survived. But here's the thing. I also wrote a song that I sang to her and her husband. And I'm just like, okay, that's good. Then nobody was dancing. I told her, look, I have this song. She didn't want to play. I had to convince her. I had this song. It's called Chop My Money. It's an African song. It gets you moving.
Yeah, we know.
That's my ringback.
I'm pretty sure Ping will love to dance to this one. But it gets you moving, right?
You know
I'm like,
would.
just tell the DJ, man.
Just
Please do it for me. I'm
money.
singing at your wedding. Tell the DJ to play Chop My Money.
See, I would have already known. You could have just looked at me like, oh, you want that chop
Yeah,
my
It's a
money?
signal. Chop, chop. Got it.
Got it.
But nobody was dancing. But when this song came on, I didn't care. I got on the dance floor. I left the
Yes.
camera on the tripod. I started dancing. I was like, Chop My Money. I was just doing my thing. Guess what? Everybody started dancing.
That's right.
So I was like, look, man, I'm not an MC, but just playing that one song and me going dance, I brought the dance floor. I brought the dance floor to
think
You
life,
did everything
know?
in that wedding.
He brought Chop My Money
Yeah.
to the wedding.
I was playing Clay Aiken. And
Yeah. My favorite part of the story is you tell the story about, it's almost like you were on a mission, like you're a soldier. I went to this thing and then 9-hour drive back, but I made $300. Like, that was my favorite part. Also, the fact that whoever was the guest on the show that day was bewildered of why.
Yeah, she did
you
wedding
brought the-
flowers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tiffany. Tiffany was on to talk about what you guys should talk to each other. She does flowers and you do Chop My Money. And and Madison could not stop talking about it to the point where we left here and I couldn't stop thinking about it.
There's something about doing a wedding, like when you're in control of it, that you relate to other people that do it. Just because, like, think about DJing a wedding. It's so stressful. Like, this
won't
is
stop.
their day.
This topic is
I
not going to
know,
die.
you love it. You asked me to make you a T-shirt, and I'm like, that's weird, but I will. Or a
See,
mug.
I've actually thought about DJing too, but I don't know if that'd be. I probably feel like I would cry. I would probably do something stupid, go viral, and then my career would be over. So I just,
Right.
I just didn't.
See, I was hoping that would
lean
happen.
toward it.
Let me tell you, as two people that have been in media for a long time, there's plenty of stuff we've done, and we're still good. And
Yeah,
we've done a lot of
we are.
terrible things.
It's true.
Like this once a week. We do terrible things, and everyone sees it. You're fine.
Yeah.
You got to take chances. Oh my God, this is the last part of the show has been better than I could have imagined.
Well, as soon as I bring up the DJM stuff,
I mean, the DJM. So, with the last couple of minutes we have left, I just want you to kind of tell people, where do you envision yourself being in 5 years? Like, you're very goal-oriented. Where are you going?
In 5 years, I want to open up a studio. I want to have a studio that says Kodjo Arts Videography and Photography, where I can produce, what I'm doing now, commercial stuff, film stuff. But one thing I also want to do is open up doors for the film community, for people that want to, get into, the film community, or just kind of start doing stuff. Not classes per se, but more like, hands-on. We always have something
Like
going on.
instructional
Yeah.
stuff.
right?
We always
Like
have
you
something
get an
going on.
experience.
Yeah, where you can come and just kind of check us out, do your thing, or you can do your own project, and we'll make that affordable. Because most companies will charge you crazy to do stuff like that. But I want to build that company where I can provide these, options to, people that's affordable, is within their budget and so on. So that way they can go, okay, now I've had this dream for a while. Now I want to pursue it because now I have that doorway that's going to help me, get my feet wet and get started. So that's my long term. 5 years might seem too soon, but I mean, if I can go full time in 2 years, I set a while ago. I believe I can make this happen in 5 years. It's a long time, and it's a lot of work that needs to be done. There's a lot of hours in the day, and I feel like that's something I can definitely push toward. And I also want to open up studios where people can rent stuff. But I'm a person that do things differently. So if I do open up my studio to where people can rent it, I'm going to make it unique in a way where people want to rent it for that reason because of that uniqueness of it.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, that's awesome. I would love to know. I wish Mike was sitting here when he left. I'd be like, "What's your 5-year plan?" When you were in your first year, I would just
Listen,
it'd be mind blowing.
I don't think it would have changed severely. I think the first 60 days were just survive, just get through this. I think it was as of last year I figured out a 10-year plan because I always evaluate things every 2 years. You have to, because every time you do a plan, the first year you have to kind of figure your way through it. Is this going to work? The second year you're actually making it happen. So it's either working or it's not. And then you have to keep evaluating that. But there is a 10-year plan, and then it's going to be like the end of Usual Suspects. Just one day, whoosh, it's gone.
That's such a good movie.
I know. We can't. Nope. We only have a couple minutes. Don't do that.
You can't do that.
No. Don't go down that path. I'm just trying to tell you.
That's the one where there's always money in the banana stand.
No, that's the greatest show that's ever
Okay,
been
sorry.
written, first of all. But yeah, at the end of that 10 years, just boom, gone.
Yeah, gone, just vanish.
Yeah, so we're in year 1 of that.
I wouldn't be there on
on
that vanishing part, so let me know.
Oh, you will be.
Okay, cool.
We'll be at the same Starbucks that we met you at, where you
I
were
love
all
it.
full of, enthusiasm. And then the next time we met you, I thought we were going to have to commit you.
Really?
You were just a little stressed out.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
bringing up movies too is like that's actually one thing I want to do. I want to write a script and tell a story about my life, how I got from where I am now, but kind of tell in a narrative format. Have somebody else play the character, of me, not of me per se, but it's kind of like
We should get
what I mean.
Wyclef Jean. That's who you look like.
Yeah.
He looks like Wyclef
I think
Jean.
it was Eddie Murphy or Chris Tucker, but man, I never got the Wyclef.
No, Wyclef for
yeah.
sure.
I could see all three. You're like a blend.
Yeah.
Which is all a good thing. I mean, that's...
And just so you
Well, that'd
know,
be awesome,
listen, we're out of time for this week, but if I do meet Wyclef, I will ask him to play you in a movie that you'll produce. Fair enough?
You just blew my mind.
I said if we get
Oh, okay.
Plus, I mean, we're probably not going to have him on again, so we're lying. So,
Okay.
you're welcome. Plug yourself one more time before we
Yeah, you can find my business site at KodjoArts.com. Kodjo is spelled Kodjo, arts with an S.com. If you can't find it, just Google it. Google will take you there.
Google, Bing, Yahoo. We got
Yep.
it.
Sweet.
Madison, any parting thoughts?
No, man. I miss Instant Messenger. AOL Instant Messenger.
All right, so that's going to be the end of the show today. Thank you for listening to the 101, brought to you by Lincoln Wallace.
Shut off Facebook Live.
Yeah, right.
That was KodjoArts.com.
I wanted you to make it a topic that we couldn't talk
KodjoO. KodjoArts.com.
I got thinking of Jim with the time, and I'm like, I have no...
I broke it. I broke
Hopefully
the
this
rod.
is off. It looks like it's still on. I
You can
clicked
have it.
finish.
See if you can help him.
I clicked finish.
Is this what happened to you?
It didn't shut off.